wasn't like that. Dragged around the past, baby, like I do. I put it at both ends, baby. Like a rocky, little bit too soon. He wasn't like that. A little calmer, little bit too loose. Girl. Like a cold disco, freaking out next to you. Don't wanna keep when I'm lonely. Under a mask like you don't even know me. Locked to a key with some sense in my dream.
Welcome to Off Track. We're here with Logan, the lead frontman from the band Goldboot. I'm your host, Moises. And here is my co-host,
I'm Maddie,
Skinny Jean Jesus.
a.k.a.
Skinny Jean Jesus. That's good.
Skinny Jean Jesus.
That's good.
That's my new moniker. You're really terrible at doing the intro music. You're supposed to fade it out slowly.
But that's the thing, though. Like, we couldn't have... People can't hear it live, but... We'll edit this one. So, yeah, welcome. Welcome to Off Track.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. I feel like...
Well, first, me and Logan have known each other for a fucking long
Yeah,
time.
forever. High school.
Like 15.
The first band I was ever in was by accident, and I think I was just by proxy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
you were just hanging out with us. So.
Yeah, and they were doing I don't know, like Vandals and Blink-182 covers, and
It was terrible.
That was the
Yeah.
band you were talking about, right?
Yeah.
He told me the name, by the way.
Trendies.
Yeah, the Trendies.
The Trendies.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
was
how
our
I have
first
him in my
band.
phone, is Matt Trendies. Yeah. I mean, I know his last name. I still just choose to go the other way with it.
Let me ask you. I saw you pulling those out. Let me ask you about those stones. And
Oh,
those
these are
Off
like
Track.
just some crystals. I got some tiger's eye, and I'm gonna be honest. I don't really know what this one was, but my girlfriend got it for me.
Were they like good luck charms?
Yeah. They're just it's a good vibe. It's really weird that like it's one of those things where you have to like you need confirmation. I know we said we weren't gonna talk about like religion, but like sometimes you need like a confirmation of something to be like, oh yeah, well like I believe in this, and then like this is the evidence, and that's why I believe in this. And I've had several occasions where I have these on me, and it seems like I don't know. Maybe it's just maybe it's a placebo thing, and it could very well
like a sugar
be.
pill.
Yeah, but they're just like lapis and some tiger's eye, and then this green one. And
Do you have those on you at every show?
I do, and I have different ones. Like I just like I have like these two little I don't know, like tubs or like little containers that I just sort of grab in and sort of like, you know, whatever one pulls out to me, you know. But when I do like the shows, I do a few of them that are like for throat stuff, you know, for voicing and like for
Oh wow.
letting go.
It's interesting you say that because my vocal coach, he has certain stones.
Yeah.
He believes he's really a big believer in that.
Yeah, and they
like-
might be some of the similar ones that I have too, you know. And just particularly this last show, I've been dealing with. I don't know if it's like laryngitis or what it is, just like Vegas dry throat, which is just horrendous to deal with. But
Wait, you were sick before the last show?
not sick, not at all. Just like it's like allergies mixed with like other issues like acid reflux and yeah, just like, you know, just sit that like
That's terrible for
you
a
think
singer.
that, yeah, it is, because it just shits on your vocal cords. And so I felt like shit the whole day.
Like, he's a cigarette smoker, and that's terrible for that shit, too.
Yeah.
That's a bad habit I have.
It's terrible. I mean, I know a lot of people who do smoke cigarettes and smoke weed like right before they go on stage, and they fucking kill it. And I'm like, I could never do that. I have to like limit.
I will be honest though, I have gone down though.
That's good.
Compared to how I was. Remember when I was constantly chain smoking?
I've never smoked a cigarette in my entire life. Never taken a drag or anything.
Really?
Oh, man,
Yeah, never.
Not once.
Not once.
That's crazy.
It just never appealed to me. There's certain drugs and everything
I think I've
out
smoked
there.
maybe 10.
Yeah, they just don't appeal to me. Nothing. It just seems like it's gonna be a problem real soon for me. But yeah. So this past show, I had like.
Which I might say, you guys did a phenomenal job.
Yeah, you guys killed it.
You guys killed it.
Thank you. Yeah, and if you were in my inner circle, you would know that I was stressing about it all week and losing sleep over it and everything.
Why? Just because it's vinyl?
No, just because like I thought that I would butcher the show, and there was nothing that I could really do about it. Like I was,
vocal wise, because your vocals were fucked.
They just felt very restrained, and things felt very hard when they shouldn't, like at all. Like things that felt, certain songs that were just like natural for me to sing and real easy. I mean, there's obviously songs that like you push yourself and they're outside your range, and you're like, "Fuck, I probably should have."
But the thing is that you're the one that realizes it.
Yeah.
The audience doesn't even notice unless you got someone out there that's like a vocalist, vocally trained and knows.
Yeah.
He butchered it right there.
Do you run a backing track for your vocals?
What?
Live?
Yeah, I mean,
Do you
there's
run a
like
backing track?
there's tracks that go with us. Yeah,
Like,
But
not
it has
like
to
be.
not like there's. I mean, we have a sound guy, and he's pretty. He uses it sparingly. Like certain songs need it, and like most vocalists today are using doublers or widening techniques.
Like you could tell the opener was for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, he's got a phenomenal voice, so but it's just the dynamics of a voice, period. And you could tell that like when you watch like somebody sing and play acoustic, or just like play in front of you without a mic, and then you watch them play, and they have like a ton of effects and processing on their voice. It's just it's just the way the game is right now.
And it's a struggle. That's another thing I want to get into. I mean, the struggle.
Totally. Yeah, big time. But yeah, just to end it on the Stones, picked up the Stones probably like, I don't know, like we do this. We like unfortunately can't afford to really pay for hands to set up our gear in between, and we want to be nice to the opening
Who the
band.
fuck can?
Yeah, you gotta be on like labels and shit. But so set up, went back into the green room, grabbed the Stones, felt like Moses part of the seas, and everything felt great. So I was like, we need to go on now.
Yeah, but you've been doing this for how long consistently?
Yeah, it's I mean,
how long is your longest break from doing music?
What do you mean?
Like, have you taken breaks between bands and stuff where you just didn't do anything?
Yeah.
How long is the longest one?
It was actually probably between either when I was in a band, UN series, or it was probably like a year and maybe some where I didn't play shows. And then there was like after I started Goldboot in 2010, and then I didn't
know it was that long ago.
Yeah, it was just me and somebody else, and it was just more straight up disco. And then like it sort of fell
very
apart.
unique sound.
Yeah, it's
very
sort of
unique.
Thank you. And
now your influences. I'd say that a little bit of Michael in there.
Oh, a lot. Yeah. I mean, a lot of Michael, a lot of Prince.
Which when we were younger, I would have never guessed.
No, I didn't have them.
He told me he was like, I was like, like his voice. He's really
because you were super
really high register, and he was like, he never sang like that.
No, well, I had a lower voice, and I don't know. You just don't. I don't know. I wasn't like an adult.
Yeah, exactly. Your music choices
and
drastically change the older you get.
Yeah, and I think just the I've always said this, like I think the iPod and just the evolution of technology made it possible for people to break out of the genres that they were in, and
in home studios.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, and you can find who you are by writing songs, and it definitely wasn't. I played like harder music, and
when you start writing, do you start with like a certain instrument, or do you get in plugins first, or?
No, I don't.
Or do you
I guess the question would be: is it lyric first, or is
definitely
it
not lyrics? Definitely not.
It's definitely a song.
Yeah, I think
start
with I don't know. For the longest time, it was always just guitar and a melody.
Yeah.
And
trying to get a hook, basically.
Yeah, and just mumbling,
mm-hmm.
just like mumbling the songs, and I think after learning how to play piano, and then like you get to know that you can have any of these sounds through, like you said, plugins and everything, at your disposal. I mean,
Well, anybody can be a producer now.
well, I mean, and you can have any sound. You can have an organ, a piano, a trumpet, a marimba,
Yeah,
a
whole
kalimba. You can have
choruses
whatever you
behind
want.
you.
Yeah, and that could shape how you write a melody because
Yeah.
of what you have. You know, you go to the guitar every time, and maybe it starts feeling the same every time, and that's kind of how it was with me for guitar.
If we start with guitar and we add plugins,
yeah.
then we pretty much the guitar has to go at some point
Mm-hmm.
because we
Yeah.
overthink it and add way too many plugins and shit. And then
Yeah.
I think our problem is like we need to start with plugins and then add guitars like a backup because neither one of us
Recently,
fucking-
we haven't really been using the guitar as much.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
'cause
whatever
it's-
surface you want to write. It's a
Yeah.
rhythm, it's a sound, you know. But I mean, as far as like the song, I usually think that like when I feel inspired and I start writing something or whatever, a melody will come from the chords that sort of speak to me or whatever, for lack of better way, and then I just try to get out of the way, like, because it feels like the song starts to write itself. It starts to like do its thing with me as like the vessel, and I'm not trying to get like too deep with it, but that's just the way it feels.
The
like,
song's telling its story.
yeah, and it's just doing its thing, and it's like I'm just like, you know, the hat. Like I'll wear this hat, like I'll wear this Prince hat right now, and then like tomorrow I'll wear this like Sly and the Family Stone hat, and then you know it's like, do you wear the
There
same
are a lot
outfit?
of black dudes.
That's what I'm
Pretty
saying.
crazy.
Yeah. Do you wear the same outfit every day? You don't.
Uh-huh.
You don't wear the same anything every day. So
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
but yeah, I just try to get out of the way, and then words start to appear in the mumble. Like all of a sudden, it'll be like with the song, like like Fire Ones, like it just started. Like I ended a mumble with the Fire Ones, you know, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And that's like something that like stuck out. And then I was like, okay. And then from that point of view, it started doing it. Like very rarely do I sit down and I'm like, okay, like I'm really sad or I'm really happy and I want to write like this, or I got this I got to get out. Like there's just too much.
Before you take your song to your producer, how much of a song usually do you have structured?
Yeah, I think some songs are more done than others, but you always like to leave like a little bit, like
Of
say,
interpretation for them.
yeah, that, and like I don't know, you always want to have like 15, 20, maybe even sometimes 30% left open for the spontaneity that you get when you're in the studio with a couple dudes and you're just, or like whatever, and you're in there and it's the nowness that you get then, you know, because otherwise it's just copy and pasting. I mean,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's just like, okay, remember that part you did? Well, let's do that. Let's just make it better, you know, and or let's make it sound you know, a different guitar tone or something. There's nothing
They
left
hear
open.
different. They hear different things.
Well, that, yeah,
That's one of
yeah.
I feel like that's one of the good things about having someone else produce your music, that it's kind of like fresh ears. You know.
No,
whereas,
it's not even
the-
kind of like it is. Yeah.
I mean, and you're doing it all on your own. You're indie. You don't have a record label, so
That's
you're paying
crazy.
for all that too.
Yeah,
so
yeah, it's definitely
paying
all on
for
our
a
dime.
producer as a musician is ridiculously expensive.
Yeah, and like
Unless
the
you
guy
get a
that-
hookup, it's out of control.
Yeah, and I mean, we do have a hookup because he writes with us, and he's
You want to shout his name out?
his name's Andy Carpenter. He's just phenomenal. He's a phenomenal singer. He's made me 10 times better singer.
He's out of LA, right?
And yeah, Anaheim. Yeah, and he's just a special musician. I mean, there's nothing he can't play. There's nothing that no style of music that he probably can't do or conquer or anything like that. And he's just it's really good too because he has like a different approach than we would. So sometimes we'll bring a song and say it's whatever, say it's like 85% done. It'll get reworked. Like a lot of the songs on our first full length, Black, White, Gold, got reworked. Like they were more like, if a song was more halftime, he was like, well, no, what if we push this and it's in, you know, just like it's a driving song. And he's like, and we're like, no, we don't want to do that. And this is more like this. And then we'll wake up in the morning and walk in the studio.
Is
at
there
like
anybody
9
out
a.m.
there that doesn't work with a producer that just does their own shit? That's big.
I don't know.
Like
probably.
any like the Tame Impala, any of those guys, or do they
Tame
all?
Impala does his own stuff.
They all.
He's
they just-
yeah, but he probably even goes and gets like at least a second ear, second opinion on it. You
Yeah.
know, probably gets like, I know this last one that he did with Currents, which is just phenomenal. I mean, it was like 2 years ago. It's like one of my favorite records. He did all on his own in his home, and if you look up the YouTube video on the making of, it just like makes you just like you're gonna be jealous. I mean, he's recording drums on his porch, and it's like it's the forest that runs into the beach, and it's overlooking it, and he has all these nice mics on his drums, and it's on his porch, and a nice day, and he's recording, and that's what he's doing, and he's just walking out there, casually drinking like a beer, and it's just like, you know, I mean, you set up these nice studios in your home like you guys have here, and it's great, and then you look at that, and you're like, fuck what I have.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Why would I want to be in a little room stuck?
He might be the only one that I know of, like, on an indie level, but no pop artist is doing that. No, I mean, unless one of the producers is actually.
So what? There's probably like, let's say, 20 main producers.
I mean,
basically?
Prince did. Prince produced his own shit.
Yeah,
wrote it and recorded.
Yeah, he's got. He's got
Prince
like.
is.
He's got vaults full of records and shit that were never released.
Yeah. We'll
Thousands
probably hear
of
him
songs.
in the next 10 years. He'll just be putting out hits.
Yeah.
And he's dead.
Yeah.
So.
That's so crazy, man.
Yeah. He has that.
That is so
Paisley Park
mind blowing that you're gone, but your
he would just
legacy
constantly
still is
record.
and there's still stuff out there that hasn't even been introduced to the world.
Yeah, but he's an icon.
It's
different, you know. It's not like
like that picture I
this
saw.
fucking guy always tells me, "When are you gonna fucking die so I can get famous?"
yeah.
It's like you're an asshole. Wait.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. I mean, it's sad. I mean, he was definitely famous before he died, and I don't know that he's bigger now that he's gone.
No,
but,
I wouldn't think so.
But now I think it's okay to emulate him more, whereas
He's not a
before-
SoundCloud rapper.
Yeah.
They all become super famous all of a sudden when they die. I never heard of these guys until they die.
Yeah. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a lot of them that are like that, yeah. But
I
I
saw
mean,
a picture.
he was just a phenom, like
Yeah.
a complete phenom. Like there's just, I mean, everybody knew it about him even when he was like 12 or 13 years old, that he was like something special. I mean, you know. So
That's crazy.
yeah.
So you have you gone on tour lately or?
No, we haven't really done that. It's super
Expensive.
hard. It's expensive, especially because we have an RV and trailer, and gas is astronomical, and that's just like the simplicity of it. That it's
Plus, it's not just like gas. I mean,
it's not the way it was 10 years ago. 10 years ago, like our band,
They'll throw you some money.
they'll throw you a lot of money.
Yeah, just to go tour.
Me and Bobby met on the DIY circuit tour. My bands used to do 3-4 month tours, doing the whole United States like 2 times around without coming home, and then come home with money in our pockets. Like all individuals have money, and the band had money. Like we would make money on those tours, and that's insane. Now it's like now we basically are like good with breaking even. Like
Well,
that's what we're good with.
And that's not just you guys. That's a lot of bands too.
It's like every band. I mean, if you don't have funding, if you don't have funding, unless you have like mommy and daddy giving you a couple grand or even 5-10 grand,
and it's a direct result of being able to steal music.
That and mediocrity.
All of it is.
And mediocrity.
Yeah.
But that's how
Complacency. Just everybody wants to hear something they've already heard 100 times.
Yeah, I mean, nobody's trying to go discover music anymore when they can discover it on Spotify or Pandora or something like that. I mean, it's hard. You have to basically already make it, and then they come out to you. Which, like, at that point, it's not like you don't need it, because you still do. Because your fans are like everything. They're literally everything, because the record label industry it's indescribable.
I know you've been dealt
monster.
some shady hands.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things that, like, I don't know, the rich get richer type thing. You know, same thing with other.
How many times have you been promised a record label or a record deal?
I don't know about promise, but definitely like told that like things were gonna happen. Even with Goldboot, a bunch of times. I mean, we've done several, showcases for major labels. I mean, we've been doing them for like 2 years.
Yeah.
it's just, you know, it's pretty difficult. It's just difficult, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, there's so many bands out there, and every person with the MacBook Pro is a fucking producer, and that's fine. That's good. I want everybody to make music. That's a beautiful thing about it. Everybody should be doing it, but it's real hard to separate yourself, and nobody wants to risk their job on you if you're not a sure thing. And
Yeah.
that's a lot of it.
Words of wisdom right there.
Yeah.
By your very own Logan.
Either that or jadedness. I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, but that's how you kind of
Wow.
weed out the people that are not into it as much, like committed.
Yeah.
You know, you start to really see the people that like are hungry for it.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people that have mommy and daddy's money that think they could just like, you know, produce a hip hop track or like EDM or something like that, and they're gonna get because they're a popular socialite or on social media.
Most of that shit's short lived though, anyways.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's no longevity in it, and
Yeah.
it's frustrating as another artist watching it, but at the same time, it is what it is. Go get yours. I mean, there is a place for everybody, or at least I'm hoping.
We're all entitled to our own opinions and our own
Yeah,
ways, you know,
totally. And
so-
that's all I'm giving is opinions. There's no like.
Yeah.
I mean,
Is there ever a point where you think you would give it up?
there's a lot of times when I think about like,
Hey, I could go do the cover band thing and make fucking.
oh no,
$2,000
I never
a night,
think
you
that.
know.
I never think that. I think I would hang myself.
Damn
before I
it!
did
It
that.
hasn't gone to that fucking point.
No.
Jeez.
No, but I think it gets to the point where, you know, I don't know. It's very, very, very hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, to do
Mentally.
it. Mentally, yeah, and you just need a lot of times it boils down to money, and that's a hard truth, and I think that's with any business or any enterprise that you're doing. You know, you start a new business, it's the same thing as starting a new band. You know, you need a lot of money, and you need a product, aka the song, that's gonna need to be able to be a for sure sell. Otherwise, there's. You know,
I
nobody
heard
wants
it
to do
takes like, it's some ridiculous amount of money to actually have a song on the radio. It's some millions of dollars, right?
Well,
that
yeah,
they put into
it's
an
like a
average song on the
payola
radio.
type deal.
Yeah.
I mean, we wouldn't know anything about that. I don't know anything about paying a DJ to play our songs. We've been fortunate enough to have.
Hey, do you think you
local-
could?
What
Do you think you could if you had the money?
do I could or would?
Or
Do you
what?
think you could in Vegas
Oh,
or
yeah,
anywhere
100%.
actually? Is that
Yeah.
still going on? They still do that shit?
100%.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like I mean, I don't know personally if it's like, do you just like hand dude a lump of cash?
Yeah,
and
like
then
an
he plays your
envelope.
song for like a week? Because I just don't think that is gonna work. And I don't know what the dollar amount is, but like I said, we've been pretty fortunate to have like at least.
There's got to be like steps and procedures, like legal.
Because I mean, even like World Stars, that type of payola shit. I mean, those
Yeah.
guys pay to put their videos on there and get 50, 100,000 views or whatever they get.
Yeah, and there's also people buying views and buying plays and stuff
Yeah,
to make
yeah.
it look like there's more and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
those are games that like we really haven't played. I don't know if we're just like too old school.
I feel like everything is just so over exaggerated. Like when I see people with like 2 million followers or 33,000 likes, I'm like,
Bieber.
you know, you gotta.
Or that new BTS band that
There's
got
no
like
way- then
200 million views in 24
or
hours.
something like that.
Did you see
Yeah.
that video?
No.
Some Korean pop band like broke
Oh,
the
yeah,
record
yeah,
for
I've heard of that,
YouTube.
yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's a great song.
Yeah. I mean, it might be.
I mean, I'm not gonna bash
It's
on it.
not.
I mean, I enjoyed it.
I
not
haven't
live.
heard it. So
But-
I mean, I guarantee they probably bought some of the plays to help it.
Well,
Get
luckily, that Asian market, like, if you're big over there, then you're ginormous over there.
Yeah, for sure. It
So even
translates.
in the
I'm gonna try to
community-
break him into the Spanish market. 'cause
Yeah,
you
that
should.
shit's huge.
Yeah.
Pero no lo español.
See, you'll say.
But all of his songs in Spanish are just gonna be talking shit about me,
Yeah,
and I'm gonna have
the
no
whole
idea what
time.
you're saying.
Yeah.
The whole time.
And he'll just never try to learn Spanish. So
Yeah,
he'll
I'm
just
just gonna be talking shit
blindly
about that.
playing drums behind
Yeah,
you.
he's like, yeah, dude, they fucking digging the
Yeah,
song.
yeah.
I'm just talking shit
Yeah,
about
skinny,
Yeah.
ugly, wedo.
Yeah, there it is.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's good.
So, besides music, what are like some hobbies you like to get into? Any curricular activities like?
Yeah, we've been trying to find other shit to do outside the studio because it gets so stale being in there.
Yeah. I mean, I go to the gym a lot. I think that's like a big thing for me to like release some either
Endorphins.
negative energy or just like whatever. Yeah. And I used to be like, I mean, I'd like watch sports and stuff like that. I'm pretty simple like that. Just travel,
Yeah.
get out there and like go see other places and stuff like that. That's, I mean, I'm from Ohio. I'm fairly simple in that regard. Like, I've always wanted to use music as a tool to be able to, or like a vehicle to travel and like absorb other cultures and take in other parts of the world. So
When did you move out here?
when I was 13.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
12 or 13. Yeah.
Now, does
I didn't know
music
that.
run in your family? Is that?
I mean,
is-
my mom, I think, has perfect pitch, but
yeah.
Really? Mama Lanning?
yeah, I think she has
Oh,
perfect pitch. I mean,
shit.
she can recall things, and I'm pretty sure that's it.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, my sister can sing really well too. I know my dad can sing a little bit, but it's never.
Oh,
It was
so
never.
so it runs.
But it was never like an endeavor of anybody's. No, like nobody ever had a guitar laying around. Like
But
I was the first.
it kind of like it kind of ran through your. Cause like my father sang for a choir in church.
Oh, right
and,
on.
my mom is very well intonated. My sister played the violin. My brothers play
Yeah,
instruments.
see, none of
But
that.
they never pursued it as much as I did.
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know?
none of that. They just, I mean, they do their own thing, but I just know that they can sing a little bit.
That's good.
Yeah.
So they're very, very supportive. You would say that about your music.
Oh, big time. Yeah.
That's great.
Like, yeah.
That's
for
great.
sure,
Because I
big
mean
time.
the supported, especially now being an artist, the support is one of the most, I'd say, one of the most essential things.
Yeah. I think.
Even your friends, like, man, it's hard to even get friends to come out.
Oh, yeah. And you feel like you have to beg people.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Like I'll pay you to come
For a $10 show, like, come out and fucking.
Yeah.
$10.
I mean,
I just don't.
$10
honestly,
seems like a lot to people.
I have never
apparently.
gotten it.
Why?
and
They
I-
pay $6 for a cup of coffee every day.
I know. It's I just think it's also like the effort, and I think that, like I said, that has to do with like YouTube, Spotify. You can listen to them right there. You can get your rocks off like that.
It's
music
become almost-
music is like a background thing now.
It's almost
you know?
become like
DJs did that. Like
thought
a lot.
of like as water, as air. It's like no one really thinks about the struggles, the time, the money, all the sacrifices.
Well, yeah, and I don't need people to like to do that. I don't need people to be like, look, watching me and be like, oh, that's like 100,000 hours of real try. Like it's just it's become a social thing. You go to a show and a lot of it is to be social. It's like Instagram or Facebook, but in the physical.
Do you think if you grew up in, say, like LA or New York or one of these hot spots, do you think you'd be farther along?
I don't know.
I've
always been
Vegas
a big
is pretty
preach-
brutal for music. There's so many things to do here.
Same thing as LA. I
every
would never
front.
want to live in LA. I mean, if Bobby's watching, he knows. I don't vibe well in LA. It's just there's too many people. There's too many people try to doing what I'm doing, and I think it would detour my focus on like what's really going on. There's too much things going on, but like I would rather be big fish, small pond than be like a krill in the ocean, which is what
which
I
is
would be
LA
in LA.
or
Yeah.
New York.
Yeah, and just like you're just flooded with mediocrity, and I'm not trying to diss on anything, but it's just too many people doing
But I mean,
exactly what you're doing.
What's your opinion about the music scene in Vegas now? Like what as now as to how it was per se 10 years ago. Would you say
don't
it's
know.
progressed?
He thinks it's getting better.
Would you say
and
it's
I don't think it
progressed, or
is.
would you
I have
say
to like
it's-
hope that it's getting better. I have to, because otherwise, like if I don't, then I'm part of the problem. So I have to hope that it's getting better. I think there's not a lot of bands like us. I don't know if that's for better or for worse. I always like to stand out. I always like to create your own island, and do
There's a
that. I would
lot.
like to say,
There's a lot of metal bands out here,
yeah,
like
there's a lot.
rock
It
bands.
seems,
lot of
seems
metal
like a
bands.
hotbed for that.
Super
yeah.
oversaturated with it.
Yeah, it seems like that. I mean, you know, there's. I mean,
Dude, I saw
Nashville
a bill for a metal show out here,
Yeah,
and it
you-
was, I don't know, what, 30 metal bands on it? Remember that bill we saw? And every single
at
band's
first.
name, it looked exactly the same with that font you can't read.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. Could you read
it looked
anything?
like a bunch of tree
I had no
branches.
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, just scribbles everywhere.
Yeah.
yeah.
Shout out to everyone listening
yeah,
on
Instagram.
live Instagram.
Shout out your
For
drummer.
sure. Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't know if he's watching. If Bobby's watching, I talked to him on the way here. I told him to watch, but
Well, if
he
he'll
might be
listen,
eating
we're gonna
ribs,
release
right?
this tomorrow
Ribs
after
right
we
now.
Well,
edit it.
hey,
So.
you know, if you could save some ribs for us.
That's what I said. I said I was excited to do this, but I was like ribs podcast, ribs podcast. So
I don't understand why you chose this.
yeah. Well, no, I mean I would have to drive 7 hours, and by that time those ribs would have
Oh,
been cold.
that's right. He's
he's
out of town.
Yeah, he's out of town. My manager might be watching though, and
He's very proud.
I hope I know. I don't think that's the right. That's not an operative word. No, not at all. But I don't know. I don't know if he is
So I mean, you're so you say you go to the gym. You're very. I mean,
trying to be active. Yeah.
you look really well.
Cool.
Taken
Thanks.
care of.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think that was just like. It's like a confidence booster too. I don't know. There's got to be some sort of bravado that you have as a front man.
No, you have to.
Yeah, we're getting
Yeah.
old too.
You have to.
That's another thing too, and I just want to like live long enough to try to succeed. I don't want to do. There's so many people that I know that do bands and they do like they just want to do the sex, drugs, and rock and roll. But I think it's funny, and I always thought
Hey,
it
at
was
least
funny.
they do something. I know so many people that do absolutely nothing outside of their jobs.
Yeah, but I also think it's funny that it's sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and that rock and roll wasn't first in the series of those. Maybe it's just because the cadence in which the words flow out. But I know just so many people that are just after it for like a good time. And
Maybe because a lot, like in those times, I guess people didn't really get into music necessarily for music. I don't want. I mean, maybe this is bro science.
That's what I
but
meant,
Maybe
yeah.
it was like you said. You know, like maybe
Yeah.
they wanted it for the
Good time.
women and
Yeah.
the drugs.
And
Which
I
is
mean,
not
those are
a-
fun, and
Yeah.
those are like everything's that's all cool, and I think those are like ancillary benefits for doing. But for me, it just I think I don't know. Like I think as like if you're a songwriter, you're gonna hit a bottom.
Mm-hmm.
A bottom with all of those three, like sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Yeah,
and
we
then-
see it all the time, and they end up.
Yeah,
dying,
and at that
committing
point, you have to
suicide.
realize what you're doing and why you're doing it, and so that's why, like, maybe for me, it's like I said, those are all fun, but there's like a deeper reason that I feel like I'm doing this, or like I felt like I was not supposed to do this or anything, but.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Even maybe like past life, I had like 6 kids and I worked like a job, and
You were
that's all
definitely black.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I probably was.
You're a Motown
That-
singer. or
yeah.
something. He's one
Then
of
why
the Four
can't I go
Tops.
back? Yeah, God, why can't I go back to that then?
David Ruffin.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Or like Sam Cooke was kind of
Hey.
a trash human though. He like beat women.
So was
and I'm not
David
really cool.
Ruffin.
Yeah, exactly.
He was a crackhead.
That's why I'm like, I wish one of those dudes was like a really good guy, so then I could be that guy, because he had like a bomb voice, like that song.
They were all trash bags too.
Yeah, they were. Well, they were all like, that's not. Yeah, I mean, they just like all. It was too much all at once, you know. I
Rick
mean,
James.
fame back then was crazy. I mean, it's still. It's exponentially worse now.
With the social media and just every
Yeah.
fucking second of your life,
Yeah, I don't.
somebody has access to it.
Yeah, I don't understand that. Yeah, I don't get it.
So let me ask you about the name Goldboot. Where did that?
The name, yeah. So the name came from. I think I
Because
like.
for those who don't know, it's extremely hard to come up with a band name.
Oh,
It is. This one was actually really easy. A lot of the other band names I came up with
in
were.
your face, man.
This one was. Yeah, this one was easy.
Ours were not.
Yeah, most of them that I have had previously were just terrible. And looking back, they're like, it's funny. I like Goldboot still to this day, so it's a cool one. But
and you guys wear
Gold boots.
gold boots.
Yeah, it just so happens. I didn't even think about that when we
that
first
was
started
crazy
playing.
when I first saw that.
Yeah, I think that was Bobby that was like, we should wear gold boots, and I was like, That's weird that I never thought about doing that, but
That's crazy.
which is funny because my dad always used to say like, you need to have a niche, and I was always be like, oh, fuck off, no way, like you're wrong. And now I'm like, fuck, you were right the whole time.
Yeah, Kiss is terrible, but
Yeah.
man, they sold it.
Same
with that
thing. Look at the
makeup.
Juggalos. That shit's crazy.
Oh my god.
I mean, that's terrible, but look, it's stuck.
yeah, and they still have a gathering every year. I think it's going on right
what
now.
about the trendies?
The trendies.
The
they
trendies,
just,
man.
Yeah, just never had it. Never had.
They're trending now. To
It wasn't
this
meant to
day.
be.
Yeah, yeah. We could have played off the fact that like everybody used trend. Now,
Yeah,
but
you guys would have. If you guys would have stuck with that, you guys would have been.
we could do a
trending.
reunion in Matt's parents' like side room or whatever we played or whatever.
Oh my god.
Whenever they weren't home.
Justin
Or
Mayer.
his dad was like working on some fucking car outside or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah. No. Goldboot came from silly shit, just like partying, one night stand with a girl, and she had gold underwear and left him at my house, and me and a person that was writing music together at the time, we had just left a band, and we were like looking for something to do that was different from that band. That band was more like not theatrical, but it was like kind of a mix of everything. I mean, we had like a bassoon player. It was like a 7-piece band. It was
What?
crazy.
What
Yeah,
the
it was crazy.
fuck?
Yeah, it was
Frank Zappa?
Yeah, it was very eclectic, and so I was like joking around, and we were happened to be partying the next night, and I was like, oh, we made like a disco song, and it just sort of happened, and I was like, oh, we should just call this name Gold Booties, and then he was like, yeah, man, Goldboot, and I was like, there it is.
Wow.
Stuck.
That was it. Yeah, a really simple thing, but it's kind of funny. I think a lot of people think that like I saw some like I don't really know.
You know
I don't
how
really-
we picked a band name?
What?
You know how we picked a band name? We
Huh.
went through band names until we found one that wasn't
Don't say
taken.
that, man. What the fuck? I wanted.
That's
I
like
had
a
this-
Post Malone kind of thing where he like put it in a rap name generator. His
I
last
mean,
name
what
was
are you
Post.
supposed to do? Like,
Yeah.
fuck, everything's taken.
Everything was taken. We were like,
There's like
dude.
5 fucking thousand.
We went
yeah.
through at least
Yeah.
over 100 fucking names, and we're like,
Yeah.
oh my god, man.
Yeah,
Like,
we
Well, the
couldn't-
funny thing is, it's like really easy to come up with like comical
uh-huh.
names, but then when you want to be serious,
Like it'd be great to be a punk band because off the bat you'd
Yeah.
be coming up with band names.
you could even be called Off the Bat.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. That's
Remember that band we saw? It was called like Cunt, Fuck, Piss, Shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's-
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
some
I've never
punk
heard of
band.
them, but that sounds about
It's
right.
some punk
Yeah,
band in
That's
Vegas.
good.
Oh man. How much time do we have? 7:45.
What time do we start?
I think it was 7.
Yeah.
Let's go till 8.
All right. So okay, so you have activities. So you go to the gym.
Mhm.
What drives you?
I got one.
You got one?
Yeah. Monetizing your music as an indie,
that's a good
as
one.
an indie artist.
Yeah, that's a good one.
How do you do that?
What do you mean?
Do you go through one of those services that does all that shit for you?
Oh yeah, CD Baby.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
like, do
that's
you
one I've
actually
heard
make
of.
any money off of YouTube or anything when you post or anything like
yeah,
that?
I mean, we get like I don't know. Sometimes it's like $100. Sometimes it's like
Through, like-
14.
through like what, like SoundCloud or something, or
Not usually SoundCloud. It's usually like Spotify or YouTube.
Spotify usually, really?
Yeah, there's some. Yeah, I mean, you get like 30 cents or something. You know,
Yeah,
something
nothing.
stupid. Yeah, it's like a ripoff. Huge ripoff. Yeah.
they said
Yeah.
Taylor Swift had like 5 billion fucking plays, and her check was like 20 grand or something.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's why they took it off. Well, they took it off to like, make it more special that,
Mhm.
you're like, oh, I'm going to go pick up her single on iTunes or whatever. I have to buy it because it was the record label's way of like, sticking it back to these,
Yeah, but
sort of streaming devices.
I thought the streaming devices were all owned by the record labels.
They are.
So they're
It's-
just
It's a 360. Yeah. You're getting fucked no
This
matter
thi-
what.
That's the one we were because we
Yeah, those
watched
360 deals.
Artifacts, and there's that's
seen
Yeah,
that
that's what
movie
the
right
360 deal is. Yeah.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
even take from your touring too
Yeah.
and your
Fucking
merch.
ridiculous.
So you go out and you only make money on the road, but they take it from those too.
Would you sign one of those deals if it came up?
A major? I'd be really scared too right now, which is funny because it's kind of like most of the
Because I mean,
labels
even
that
with the best lawyer, those
We have a
deals are
great lawyer, too.
always sketchy.
what
Those
He's great too.
those record deals
Yeah.
are always sketchy. So
Yeah, no, we have. I think that we have the best lawyer that we could possibly have. And yeah, it's still really scary. Well, it's the reason is really scary is not because the deal you're signing. It's because the person that is your chaperone or your liaison, that's your A&R, that if they get fired, then is the label loyal to you or is that dude loyal to you? And if the loyalty is gone, then if you have no money funneling in for funding, then what, you know what I mean? They don't give a fuck anymore.
It's, I don't know, man.
do you think
mind
it's gonna? Do you think the record labels will eventually deteriorate
Oh, yeah.
and everything will just be indie?
I think there's
or-
like a slight already doing that, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's just necessary evil. I mean, unless you get like Childish Gambino.
Is
and
it a
you have, like,
necessary
some-
evil though because they control it right now though? Is that the only reason?
Yeah, that, and I just think
Because
it's
they
money.
have they still have
It's
the money at
That's what I'm
this
saying.
point.
So unless
But
you
they're
got-
struggling to find ways to keep that money funneling in.
Yeah, but they don't. The validity of the namesake of the labels, like it used to be, like, you know, like you used to just be like, oh, I really like listening to Epitaph record bands or
Yeah.
Vagrant record bands. There's nothing like that anymore. That's because there's no loyalty.
Mm-hmm.
They'll just keep throwing shit at a wall until it sticks, and then they'll like run that out until that doesn't work, and then boom, they're gone, and then the next person up. It's just, you know, so many people want to be famous, so it's real easy to keep it going. You know?
I don't want to be famous. Do you want to be famous, Moy? Do you want to be famous,
I want to be K-pop.
or do you want to just?
No, I want
You just want to make a living at it, right? You just
Yeah,
wanna,
I want to just like be able to not work, and I want to
Just
reach
do
as many
music.
people possible.
That's
I think
what I was-
those are
that's what I was
kind
gonna
of
say.
synonymous a lot of times. So
Yeah.
I feel like for every artist, I don't want to speak for every artist, but I feel like as a singer songwriter, your goal, like when you know you've made it, is when you hear someone singing your lyrics and relating to it.
yeah.
It doesn't matter how much you make, that you're top on the billboards, you know, like when someone connects to with your music, I feel like that's when you're like, wow.
I mean, it's something to hang your hat on for sure.
Yeah.
I think, like, you know, everybody wants to be understood on a basic level, but
Those pictures and the praise after the show are fucking amazing, huh?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
got to be such a high.
yeah, those are really cool. And like I said, it would be even cooler if I didn't have to like go in to work on Monday morning.
Yeah.
That and I think that's just the only thing that separates it, is that, you know, you want to be able to just do your thing and express yourself.
Speaking of going to work, we were talking earlier about before we started the podcast about how people treat an up and coming musician or an artist and don't really maybe realize what they're saying to you.
Yeah.
And how, I don't want to say what you do for work, but
Yeah.
we'll just say like customers that come in.
Yeah, for sure. It's always weird. I mean, it's flattering in a sense, you know, when they come up and say like, "Oh, I don't know why you're here. Your music's so good. You should be on the radio. You should be famous."
For people that
etc.
aren't musicians, that's an insult.
It is and it is and it isn't. It's like it's not a backhanded compliment, but it feels something like
It
that.
feels it when you hear it over and
Yeah.
over.
Because
Well,
you're
they
already
don't
putting so much work. where
Like, you know, like, yeah, I would love to be I would love to not be here. Like,
Yeah, but I think it's just because they're like, they just don't understand the industry, and that's all it is.
Yeah.
They just don't. It's, you know, it's like blind ignorance or something. Like, they just don't get it. They don't get like how hard it is. You know. I don't know if they think that I'm just like doing it for fun or doing it to like stroke my ego or something like that. But it's
which
No,
I
this is
I
very,
might
very,
say,
very
I may
serious
say
for you.
as artists, we do have a bit of ego.
yeah. I mean, I
Because the
think you
ego
have
kind
to.
of drives us.
that's
Well,
what
no,
we've been
you
through
have
like
to-
10 bandmates.
You have to eat your own bullshit. You have to fake
Yeah.
it till you make it.
Yeah.
That's just it. Otherwise it's just like a depressing, like Sisyphus trudge up a hill, and then the ball rolls back down, and then you push it back up, and you get it halfway, it rolls back down. That's what it is. So I think at a certain point you need to you need to eat your own bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, and drink the Kool-Aid, so to speak, on being like, okay, yeah, I am this, I am this, I am this persona. You know, because that's who the people want to buy into. They don't want to see some Joe Schmo up there. I mean, maybe people do. I don't know. Like for me, I don't want to watch
I don't
some
either.
like regular ass dude up there
Yeah.
doing his thing. I just don't. I want somebody that like appears to be superhuman or something.
Yeah, like when I watch UFC fights, I wish they were all on steroids. Like I want them all to look like
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, why
Yeah.
not?
Like
We-
little
we have-
miniature Brock Lesnar's, big Brock Lesnar. I just want them all to look like Brock Lesnar in
Yeah.
some form.
Yeah.
And I don't know why they just don't let
So
them
you
do
just
it.
don't watch like the smaller guys fight.
Well, I watch them, but I just wish they were just jacked to the gills.
Yeah.
Like
or
monsters.
like if that was like a street fight rather than a paid pay-per-view fight.
I just want my superstars to be as super as possible.
Yeah.
I want them to be unobtainable.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, I think that's the idea behind it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got a question. So you've gone on tour, right? You've
Uh-huh.
What's the craziest stories from tour? Or
Debauchery.
the most like mind fucked stories that you were just like,
Is it
wow.
impossible
Like,
to
something
not do
a story
drugs on
that-
tour?
An experience that has stayed with you.
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of them. I mean, we drove 16 hours from Albuquerque to Denver to play to no one, literally no one.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Yeah, that was real. And then, and
What was it in like a bar or something? Or?
No, I don't even remember. I don't remember like the venue really. I know that when we pulled up to the venue, I had bad feelings about it. I was just like,
Oh, you already felt it.
yeah. I was like, oh, this is gonna be small, and then, but it wasn't anything.
There
Like
was
it
no
felt
one
like just
there.
a rehearsal. That's all it was. There was the sound guy, there was us, and then there was the two openers that were actually from that city.
And then nobody showed up to see them either.
Nobody showed up to see them either.
What?
And they made us headline. And then we just asked, like, out of like, you know, we were just like, can we go second out of 3 because we have a long drive and there's just no one here. So can we just like do what we're supposed to do so that we can get our money and leave?
What?
So, yeah.
They still paid you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
It's
they-
already
I mean,
done
you
deal.
gotta do it.
yeah, they got to pay us.
But that's the thing.
now-
that you gotta think about it. You always have to. I feel like you always have to think about it in a positive way. Like you got paid
Yeah.
to rehearse.
How does
Yeah.
it work now? Like at vinyl, is it a percentage of the door plus the bar
I
percentage?
mean, yeah,
or?
most things are like door deals now.
Yeah.
Because venues
Yeah.
don't want to give guarantees to bands
Yeah,
that they
'cause they-
don't know. But I mean, they want you to like, you know, produce like a ticket audit and
Sell your own tickets?
No, they want you to produce like a ticket audit where you show that you've already in the market that you're in, whether
Oh,
it's
you've
LA,
already-
that you already can draw people there.
Oh.
But yeah, that was that. I also another story about Albuquerque again. I think I shit my
Albuquerque.
pants in Albuquerque. Yeah, I shit my pants in Albuquerque.
Boy
and-
just shit his pants, so don't feel bad.
yeah.
Shit my pants.
I shit my pants in Albuquerque. It was funny. We got like real hammered after the show, and I think I laid in the gutter, like because I thought people were gonna steal our RV and trailer. Actually, people tried to. That night, like one of the dudes that was in the band was out there, like I think on the phone talking to his girlfriend or something like that, and he like called everybody, and there's like this huge house party. Everybody's like, "Oh, shut the fuck up!" And then he's like, "Dude, these guys are trying to steal like our RV and trailer. They're like trying to pick the lock on the trailer to like take it off the RV and just drive away with it." And so like everybody in the party, there had to be like 30 or 40 people, just like grabbed the sharpest thing and just started running out there. So we ran, and like I was a dumbass. I think I threw like a steak knife down the street, like at the
Just threw it down the street.
yeah, like at the car that was like driving.
Left-handed like a girl.
yeah, probably. And then I grabbed the steak knife. So I went down there and I grabbed it, and then me and the singer in the band, I think, laid in the gutter waiting for them. And then he kept asking me like,
wow.
so like if they
Why
get,
in the
if they get
gutter?
back here, like, what are you gonna do? I'm like, I'm gonna fucking stab them. And then he was like, are you really? And I was like, probably not.
Why in the gutter though?
I don't know. Like, so
Why
they
wouldn't
wouldn't
you
see
hide
us.
in the RV?
I don't know, because they wouldn't see us. I don't know. You're drunk at that point. I was really drunk. I shit my pants later. That's what I'm saying. So like, so then I shit my
Like,
pants.
so you shit your pants because you're waiting there for so long? Or
No,
you just got
no,
scared?
no. This was I think I didn't really eat that much because you're on the tour diet,
yeah.
and then
Taco Bell diet.
or worse, and then I think like I ended up shitting my pants, and then my band was nice enough to carry me like upstairs and shower me. Like I showered full clothed. There were people I think fucking in the bathroom, and we just like barged in, and I was like, they were like,
a dude covered in
"He shit his
shit."
pants. They're like, oh fuck. I think there was people
All right, you can have it,
doing
bro.
bondage, is what it was. It was crazy. There was like some dude getting whipped. It was pretty wild, but I don't remember that. I was just
He
told
just picks
that.
out, like, is he good?
No, but I showered. But then the funny thing was that I was in the shower. I started taking a full shower instead of just getting the shit off me and then
Yeah.
like exiting. I started like looking around for like the face wash and stuff, and they were like, "Dude, get the fuck out of the shower." But then, so they took my pants and left it outside, and then I woke up in the morning, and our like the door to the RV was like wide open, and this guy's like, hey, dude. And he handed me my wallet. My wallet was just sitting out there forever. And all the money was in it. Everything was in it. Credit cards, everything. It was crazy. But yeah, I mean, that might be one of the craziest, I guess.
Is it hard not to do drugs and shit on tour because everybody's just trying constantly
Yeah, I
offer them
think
to
everybody's like, yeah, because everybody, it's like it's their night, like the people that
Yeah,
come
they
and
wanna
see
be your
you,
friend.
they're like
Yep,
rage,
yep,
yeah,
yep,
and it's really hard not to like drink and party and stuff like that because you're just like.
But
I
they don't
gotta do
realize you got to
something.
drive fucking 8 hours to the next show.
Yeah, that and like you also have to sing the
Yeah.
next day or
And perform,
play
yeah.
and be coherent and do business and talk to other people, and so it's just like ends up being like that.
Is this the first band you were the lead singer of?
This
Goldboot?
is no, the band before this was the first one that it was called America. Yeah, it was like I said, it was like 8 people in it,
Yeah.
but that was the first. I mean, yeah, I don't think like I was really good in that one, but this is the first one I think like, okay, cool, I sound like a singer.
You never sang in any of your other bands?
No, I mean I sang backup.
Yeah.
And there's a few times I had to like step up and be in the lead singer role because of dude like he got sick or whatever, and we just
Yeah.
like had to perform by contract or whatever. But this is the first time I'm like the singer. Yeah.
So, we're coming up to an hour. One quick question.
Mhm.
What's the most... Your fans, you're really close with your fans, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
What would you say is something? Was there something that a particular fan has told you that definitely motivated you more? That made
Yeah.
you kind of feel like, wow.
Yeah, I think our music is generally on the lighter side.
Uh-huh.
So just having someone say that like, you know, they listen to the songs to like pick them up or keep them focused or because I know how hard that can be to like pick yourself out of a hole or like, you know, feeling like you're in a fucking like rut and shit like that. So but honestly just like watching people dance because nobody wants to be the first one to dance. So like when you watch like a bunch of like kids or like grown ass adults like grooving out there, it feels special because they don't have to do that. And I know that everybody is so self-conscious about like the way that they look or like if they're
Which
the
is
first
weird too,
one.
because when are you ever going to see those people again?
There's a lot of times, yeah, that are like that
Are
too.
you ever going to see any of those people at that
Yeah.
concert again? Usually, you know.
Yeah, and I mean, I think I try
Just
to do
enjoy
like
yourself.
a good like I don't know. I try to be like as in the now when I talk to those people at the end of the shows as I can be. Obviously, there's shit going on in my head, you know, and there's shit going on in their head. So I try to, you know, I know that like when I would talk to
Yeah, it's
people
more
that
their
I-
moment than yours.
Yeah, exactly. And when I would talk to people that I looked up to, it meant a lot that they would even give me their time. So I just
Yep.
try to be the same and try to like give
That's
them
great.
the time because without it, you're playing to an empty room and it doesn't like, you know, like it's like the same thing. If a tree falls in the woods and there's no one there to hear it, does it make a sound? It's like the same thing. Like, was there a show if there was no one there? Type deal. Like,
Well, yeah, you played
Wow,
one.
that's a
Yeah.
good, that's a
in
great.
Denver. Yeah, so I know how it feels
You played a show
to
with
get
no one
paid to
there.
practice. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's not bad.
It's not bad. It's not bad. But when you
It's
drive
not
16 hours, yeah, it's bad. That's like 4 driving shifts.
Do you have any shows coming up? You want to plug something in? You
Yeah,
wanna-
we're playing October 20th. We're playing Pride Week at the Cosmopolitan Pool, which is always a big honor to play that venue because it's one of the best in Vegas. We're playing with a band called Superfruit, which I think is like a spin-off of like that band, the Pentatonics. And then this girl named
That's
Betty
a cool
Who,
band.
which seems like they're like, both these artists seems like they're killing it. It just seems like a good thing, and we feel like pretty special to support a community that deserves supporting. So
That's cool. Is there anywhere your fans or anyone can reach you at, like your Instagram?
yeah. Just try to follow me. I'm Logan Lanning. Follow Bobby Lucy. Follow Goldboot Music. We really need it. Everything that we do relies on
They're
fan
great. They're-
interaction.
Support your local musicians.
Yeah,
people.
And they're great. I cannot emphasize it. Like
Yeah.
they're
Thanks.
great. They do it for the right reasons.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal. I've been to 5 shows now, and I continue to go to them because they're just that amazing.
Cool, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, just like listen to our songs. Spotify. It seems like it's a huge deal for us to move up in the the levels of trying to get to a point to where we can do this as just a career
And have more time to create more
Yeah,
masterpieces
for
where
sure.
people can enjoy. So.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
because
The more
working a
you
full-time
listen, the
job
more
and then
we can
trying to
write.
do this shit is exhausting.
Yeah, it is. It is. So yeah, the more you listen, the more we can do it.
Like a train, the more you
sure.
feed it cold, the more it goes.
Right.
So-
right. Cool.
Well, yeah, this is another episode of Off Track. We're gonna end it with one of Goldboot's songs, and thanks for coming on the show, Logan.
Appreciate it.
And you can hit us up on Neon Town Productions at Instagram. And that's it.
And that's
Thanks,
it.
guys.
Peace.